my favorite thing about Lead Manager is the first interaction you have as a negotiator or as a manager, whoever you are from the agency. It's a meaningful interaction. You're not dealing with the minutiae of, right, what's your name, what's your phone number, what's your postcode.
You get to a transaction a lot quicker because the self-service surveys that are going out, applicants, tenants, potential vendors, landlords could already give when they are available for a viewing or evaluation. It's not necessarily booking anything into calendars, but it just means that when you call that person for the first time, you've already checked the diary, and you're then confirming a booking, or you're confirming a time, knowing that they've already self-proclaimed that they're available.
And it's that lack of sorry, Mark. The lack of pressure, I was going to say, because you feel the pressure. You're on Rightmove or whatever. Have you got a property to sell? No. Oh God, no, I definitely haven't. I'm buying it cash. But actually, that gentle auto response that comes out and asks a little bit more detail about your search, what you're looking for, what's your current situation. Actually, I'm a bit more relaxed because it's not from this big, massive website. It's from Example Estates or whatever they're called. And then I get a phone call from Example Estates saying, oh, we've got your request for a viewing. We're going to show you Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Does that work for you? Yeah, that's really great. I also see you've got a property to sell. While we're out, should we come and have a look at your house as well? It's just a much more, it feels more professional and more gentle. Kind of a nice.
Saves you from fake rapport building as well, because probably when you're dealing with estate agents, right, that first call is quite uncomfortable for most applicants because you feel like you're just being extracted from.
And sold to.
Yeah, and people don't want to be extracted from. I'm looking for a property, so ultimately, if I've gone to Rightmove or Zoopla, I'm just wanting to view a house, right? It's a simple interaction, but from that simple interaction, you get all of this kind of nonsense and on over the top kind of, negotiators trying to speak to you for 10, 15 minutes. And actually in that moment, you just want to transact. You're not actually looking to maybe build rapport or build a relationship. You're looking to view a property. The thing that I've used when I've spoken to people about is it's a differentiator for you as an estate agent, because there's a standard lead flow that everyone goes through when they go to Rightmove, and suddenly you're pulling people out of that standard lead flow into a new world that they've not been in before. They've probably not received an email from an estate agency saying, here's some conversational aspects of what you're looking for without having the conversation. So let's extract the data, but give us what you want, because obviously the questions are relatively open-ended. If you don't want to say that you want mortgage advice, you don't have to. But where people will open up is they'll suddenly tell you they've got a property to sell because of the customer-centric aspect to it. And I think that was the word that Ross used on one of the demos that I sat in on, that I thought was really, really good, is it's customer-centric first, and then you slowly turn the dial on the conversation to where you want it to be, but you're kind of giving people what they want first and foremost.
And I think what's different about Lead Manager compared to other products out there is other products out there are all about speed of contact. We get you in contact quickly, whereas Lead Manager is all about quality of contact. It's all about having a much more quality conversation, much more educated conversation, because they've already given you all of the information that you are going to ask them.
The educated bit is really key, because you come across as from an agent's perspective, you come across as the professional.
Yeah, totally. You've done your research, you've checked the vendor's calendar, you can get them in when they're looking to go. So now you get to the transaction really quickly, rather than data collection first, looking at the calendar, checking with the vendor, then going back and making the second call. You can't get through to them, so now they're in limbo. It's all about let's transact on the first call.
Makes you look efficient as well, doesn't it? I am prepared, professional, and well-versed almost in what they need, their requirements, other properties that might fit them. I've got the time to actually think about it before I have that first conversation, rather than it's all a bit on the hoof, as you do it.
But adding to that, it's the agents have the ability to now surface all the gold, all the most qualified, the most valuable to the top. So instead of working your way through a laundry list of leads, and you don't really know what the engagement is, what the opportunity is, if there is a valuation opportunity.
If it's in your inbox. and you can find it over everything else that's come in over the weekend.
Yeah, totally.
Well,
So now you
plus
can
dealing with
surface
things
all
in
the goals at the top
chronological.
and focus there.
Dealing with things in chronological order has been the status quo for so long that people are almost like too used to that as well. So no one's ever changed the process because that's just a process. Every business deals with things in chronological order. We as a company, how would we deal with our leads in the morning? That's the irony of it. We don't have a lead manager.
At the top, work our way
There
down.
you go. So when I come in the morning, if we'd suddenly had 5 leads last night and we were coming in to talk to people about their websites or lead manager or valuation or any of the other tools, we would just work through them in order because we don't know at that point, you know, how much there isn't a lead manager for what we do, but how much would we benefit from it? And I think that's a story in and of itself. Where I'm different to this conversation, because I've not been part of the ecosystem of Homeflow for all of the years, there's still a massive element just to the autoresponder aspect of it. But because it's replaced Boomerang, I think we kind of oversee that. But when I talk to people and say, you can respond to an email at 2 a.m. in the morning. So when you have got, you know, somebody working a night shift, right? Because it's easy for us to, because we're in the property world, just assume that life works from kind of 9 to 5. And yes, estate agents work on Saturdays, and a bit on a Sunday, some of them, but that, you know, this is our life cycle. There's a whole world of people out there, an army of night workers and NHS workers and people in different roles that they're getting an email response at 2:30, and not just what Boomerang did, which was an auto response. It's an auto response with a call to action. And by the time you come in at 9 a.m. in that morning, suddenly you might have a lead quality score that's at 81%, and you haven't lifted a finger. You know, and where's the value in that? Well, suddenly our system, we've basically plugged you into a system that's taken a person who was a standard Rightmove inquiry, just I want to view, and suddenly you're walking in the morning to a valuation opportunity. You know where their property is, you know that they need to sell. There's a mortgage opportunity and there's a conveyancing opportunity, all wrapped in one nice present with a nice bow around it. There you go. You know, and the power of that's just absolutely massive.
From the consumer's point of view, which is always, I seem to have the consumer at the back of my mind, they've had a response at 2:30 in the morning. They've actually been interacting with the agent that doesn't seem to sleep. It's not the agent, obviously, it's our...
They've not just had a response, they've had an excellent brand experience from that agent. It's not just an auto response, it's an auto response that goes one and two steps further, that allows them to have that quality interaction with them offline, or online, should I say. So then your offline processes, and it's an extension of that quality. And it just gives if somebody like me, when I was searching for my property, inquired about 6 different properties through 6 different agents, and all of the first contacts were identical, I've got fatigue by call 3. I've said the same things over and over again.
No, I don't want a mortgage. Leave me alone. No, I haven't got a house to sell.
Yeah, whereas with auto response, with forms and everything else, now the call is completely different from that particular agent. It's now a breath of fresh air for me.